Well, welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase, where I am in the process of laying down the iron trains. In fact, we are at the last of the stops we set up, so there's just 4 more trains to lay. So this one won't be iron 21, it will actually be iron 22. Until inventory full, get rid of that one. Are you full? Yes, you are. If you go, copy that one, so that's 1. Okay, that's 2. Go. They're already getting a little bit congested, but there's a good reason for that, which we'll see in just a moment. Three. And lucky last. Looks like we've got a few more wagons than we actually needed, but that's okay. Sort of inevitable. So we should have 4 trains now with yeah, these are because this actually was never completely built out, so we have to finish building out the rail up here, but otherwise these are all fine except for we are missing a, right here we're missing a chain signal, so we're going to have to deal with that one. It's not that far away, I guess a quick jog over there will do it. Well, quick's relative of course, but yeah, there's a fairly direct path to it, so here we are. If we give this a chain signal right here, that should sort out that problem, and I think the other ones are okay. We certainly don't have anybody trapped here. That looks okay. That looks okay, and the final one was over here. That does not look okay, so I guess another quick jog over there to sort that one out. Easier than driving a train back into this area. Gives me time for a sip of coffee. Very good. And if you notice, we are now on mining productivity 237. I guess I'm just going to shoot way through here. There we go. So yeah, we're trying to get to 275, and yeah, we just need another chain signal right here. That sorts that out, and actually might hitch a ride back. It's bound to be slightly faster, you'd think, than me jogging, even with my legs. Although we're actually not going to get that far before we have to come to a halt. Alright. Yeah, we want to get through as soon as possible, really. I'm not worried about these little private networks having a little bit of congestion. These private train networks that, I mean, when this thing is running constantly, which is kind of what I would expect it to do fairly soon, it's not really going to have time to be congested, I would think. So we have a little bit of rail, maybe that's enough. Let me just see if I can get the engineering train back to base. Not without manoeuvring it just a little bit. Okay, let's jump out, send you to GC external, and we'll meet you there. I probably should have grabbed some more rail, but never mind, we'll use what we've got, and if we need more we can always grab more. If we just, so all of these guys actually have stations that they're trying to feed, but they can't get to them because we never completed the rail line up here. We don't need that bit, so I can always come back and fix that as well. Oh. What does? Oh, we probably need to fix some signals here as well. That's probably no good. Yeah, we definitely need to do something about the signaling. One there, 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 there. There. Here. Here, here. And on the other side of there, we probably need one of these. So we obviously don't have the signals right at this end either, because that train should have been able to get basically all the way up to here. Yeah, that's better. Might have to check that one as well. The same thing. I don't know if I actually need these all to be connected, so yeah, we need something like that. Now we're probably also going to get the copper trains coming through as we fix this up, so we need to be a little bit aware of that as well. And in fact, what I might just do is pretend, oh, I don't have a radar down there. Let's get a radar down there because I'd like to see this side of things anyway. Let's get a radar down there and copy this whole collection. Blueprint. One of these will be spare at this point. I don't think I need that anymore. let's just grab that. So that's the iron entrance. It probably needs some signals down this end as well. Most notably actually probably that. And then over here, that, that, and that. There we go. That's what we need. So yes, very soon we'll probably, we already had a copper train come through, so, or did we? Perhaps when this is done we'll get a copper train coming through. There you go. And this little bit of extension there is probably not required. Whoops. Make a wild dash. And connect up these bits. And signals down this end. We need one of those there. And chain signal there and there. And I think that just about does it for the signals we were missing. There shouldn't be any GCP anything in there, and there doesn't appear to be, so I guess they've all been answered. So what we need to do now is head on up to our base, our supply base, and get some bots so that all these pieces can fire up. And we're going to have to set up the signals on those bits. That's relatively easy. So how many bots do we need is a good question. Let's have a look at what we actually have running, say, in here. For example, it's about 1300. What about here? 1000. 800. It's kind of changing. What about over here? 800. 800. So the order of about 800 seems to be good enough, although it's probably slightly less, but it looked like it was fairly busy. So we've got copper, copper, iron. I've got 8 in total, so that's 6400 bots. And we've got this green circuit build, which is kind of about 2/3 of one of those, so maybe 1200. And we've got 4, so there's another 4800, so that's about 11,200 bots we need. We better get the supply train cracking on bringing those over, because we certainly don't have them at the moment. Do I need any of that other stuff? I might need those, but the rest of the stuff... probably get rid of pretty much the rest of that. So that should give us a little bit of space. Now if we get 12,000, was it? 4,800, 11,200. That should take it a little while. Might be overkill on the bots, I'm not entirely sure, but certainly a lot of entities that we're adding in. That is one issue that I have, but never mind. And we'll have to pause there. And to resume from where we were, actually I think I might wind the numbers back a little bit further. So it's really only, we really only have 5/6 in each of the ore smelting operations. So what is 5/6 of 800? Sort of about 670. So 130 by 8 is it's like 1,000 less. So I might just change this number to well, I can deploy less, it doesn't really matter. Zero it when they finally get here. But I don't want excessive numbers of entities, that is for sure. So what we're going to do is fix up the signals for the green circuits entry. Let me just check which way they're coming in. They're coming in up here. Do you have... Yes, you do. Okay. So you will need a... one of them. A normal rail signal there, and the opposite over here. And that's it. Alright. That's easy enough. So I'm putting the signals so that the trains will stop here, so that if I'm using this to run backwards and forwards, it should be clear of trains. Number 3. Chain signal there and there. Oh, don't tell me I'm out of chain signals. Alright. Let's go back, get some more, see if we've got any bots delivered yet. It looked like some were probably on the way. I may not have been aggressive enough in the 1600 as well. It should probably be about 1100 rather than 1200, so maybe there's another 1000 I can drop off. So we might not need quite as many as I have anticipated. Chain signals. I don't need very many, I just need some. And we do have some, good. What else do we need? Bots. Do we have bots yet? No, we do not. Alright, I don't need all of these wagons. Don't need all of this stuff either. There, that should help. Let's go put the last... let's actually see if the supply train is doing anything. Looks like it's still filling up. It's got 3,000 bots on it. It will actually take a while to deliver that many, but that's alright. We might deal with the green circuits, cutting out green circuits elsewhere, and then come back to here after the event, because that will actually free up some bots as well. Right. It is still a very long way along here. This is an incredible stack. Should be worth about 100,000 green circuit production per minute. Maybe it's what I should do in future for building green circuits. We'll see how well it operates. It's kind of an experimental build, I guess. Right, so that is it. That end looks okay, I think. I might put a radar in here just so that I can see a bit more. I certainly want to be able to see what's going on in this network, especially at the beginning. See if it seems to be working properly. So we might have to... well, we have no medium poles. Alright, never mind. We certainly don't have enough of these guys either, so... we'll have to make do without that for the moment. Let's just have a look at what production's doing. 172,000. We're not making enough iron as per usual. Which normally is being translated into not making enough steel. We'll quickly check to see if any bots have been delivered. I suspect they probably haven't, and if they haven't, we'll then head over to our green circuit stack 2 and set it up so that we can start pulling it down. No bots have, so okay, let's go to hashtag a GC2. There it is. So by doing this, we should remove congestion from down here. Not that there actually is any congestion at the moment, but there often is. But perhaps most importantly, we are removing demand for 6 trains of iron plate and 6 of copper plate from the system that we had in place before, and it is by virtue of that we'll have more resources for everything else. So, let's whiz through there. It's basically here that I want to check. I want to check what the resource numbers are. Actually, it looks pretty even at the moment. There's one train on the way there. No trains on the way there. So copper will end up getting a little bit behind. So I guess what I want to do is well, eliminate these for starters from the middle section, and then I basically want this to run down its resources, which could take a little bit of time. I want this one to end up needing to order one more because the copper is otherwise going to get behind the iron, and there'll be a whole lot of iron to remove because apparently we've got a train of iron on the way but not copper, although it has enough at the moment, so it could be a while. So I guess we'll come... oh, there we go, now it's ordering one. But there probably is no copper trains because they're in a constant state of usage at the moment. It would be nice to be able to remove this one. Let's just see where it's at. GC5 copper. And it's gone now, so that would mean there's a train on the way. Whoops. So, let's remove these two. Which actually means I can probably remove all of that logic now. So now this stack will run out of resources at some point. Let's do the same to our original green circuit stack. Let's head to GC1. There it is. Got a sip of my drink. Actually, I'm going to just pause the recording again for a moment and back. So yeah, no, I just needed to grab my phone because I'm expecting a call at some point, which will probably time wrapping up the episode fairly well. So we should have a few more trains available to feed steel at the end of all of this. That's the general idea anyway. Here we are, I think, right at where the original green circuit stack is. Very, very busy intersection, this one. Trains constantly going in and out. Bit of luck, we'll get a go soon. Here we go. So this should make the whole intersection a lot less busy by taking a third of the traffic away. Wow, they're very copper starved. So let's have a look here. What have we got? Low numbers of both copper and iron. We have 3 trains on the way. We've got 3 trains on the way. That's probably fine. Let's just get rid of these now. The trains are already on the way, so we might as well let them come. And yeah, there'll be 1,800 bots that will be pulling out. So we're putting in, say, if I reduce the numbers a little bit from what I planned originally, we'll be putting in, say, 10,000, but we'll be taking out 3,600. So we're only net adding, I guess, about 6,400. What are we doing in terms of numbers? The second stack isn't full, but I never really expected that it would have to be. Steel is at 41,000, but look how much we're burning. That's our problem constantly. And of course we need to improve the throughput of our iron. So let's head back up here. Let's just check to see if the supply train has been able to deliver. It's still 7,600 there, but maybe some has actually been delivered. No, none has been delivered. and it's still waiting, so it could be a while for that to finish off. Well, we're probably at a point where there's nothing I can do here for a bit. There's nothing I can do anywhere really for a bit until the bots get delivered to the bottom green circuit stack. So what I'll do is I'll set up a command to head down there, and I guess we'll call this episode here. We won't really see the effect of it until we have all of the bots in place and we're able to rip out the green circuit pieces here and there, but well, you know, this until we can actually rip this piece out and rip out this bit, but I want them to exhaust the committed resources first, of course. And yeah, look at this congestion. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, the things we have after this, just to give you a heads up, is our redesign of oil. If we do a full surround of all of these bits and pieces, we should be able to reduce it down by about 40%, perhaps a reduction of to 40%, and that should all of these pipes and things, there's the fluid calculations are very greedy in terms of performance, so taking 40% of it all out, and we will start with this one because I don't really know if I've got enough room, and this could get a little bit messy, but that's on the cards. And then of course the pre-stackers to try and improve the efficiency of these stacks so that they perform at the sort of level that I was hoping and expecting originally. That's sort of on the cards. Let's check one other thing while we're at it. I would like to know how our power grid is going. As you know, we have over 1 million solar panels now, which at maximum capacity does 63 gigawatts, which is basically 1,050,000, I think, of the panels, roughly. So I guess what we'd like to know is that enough to completely charge during the night, or do we actually need more panels? So that is a very interesting question. We're only charging at 26.2, and I know during our peak demand we are burning about 35, so that would kind of suggest if it's exactly 50% nighttime, 50% daytime, which I don't think it is, but if it was, we would not have enough charge to completely charge the accumulators at the moment, and would definitely need more. But the way things are looking, we are up to 4 terajoules already of charge, and it looks like we'll probably see the night through. And we'll be able to see what the burn is, so you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment, because I think we are just about there. 4.3, 4.4, and there you go. So yeah, it does look like we're still charging fully, and as I said, we're sort of running at about 36. So obviously, because of the changeover, as this dies down and it warms up again, that must be sort of helping the difference between charging at 36 versus charging at 25, something like that. Anyway, I think we've done enough for this episode. We definitely don't have those bots yet, so I'll wait around for that off camera, and next episode we should be finally cleaning everything up and running off the new circuit stack. See you then, guys. Bye bye for now.